All right. So you guys, welcome to tonight's call. We are so excited. You've probably seen this posted all over multiple pages, but we have our Diamond Sapphire upline, Jenn Hawkins, and she is the reason why we are all here. And so it's very exciting that she's taking time out of her own personal schedule and busy Sunday evening from her family to pour into us. So I am thrilled to have her on here. So Jenn, I'll let you take it from here.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. Happy to be on with you guys tonight. I feel much more connected to you guys. I do a lot of these kind of Zooms, and they're deeper in my line. So you guys are closer to me, and this is a lot more fun for me. Don't tell the others, but I love this. This is great. So, Nicole, I don't think we really talked about it. Did you want me to share my story, or just go right into the?
No, absolutely. Yeah, feel free.
Okay. I'm sure many of you have heard it, but maybe if you haven't, or if you're going to post the recording, that somebody will get to hear it. But so about 4.5 years ago, I was struggling to lose the last 20 pounds of baby weight with my daughter. She's now 5, but she was 1, and I was desperate. So when Plexus came across my Facebook news feed, I was only interested in that weight loss piece. Even though at the time I was looking for a way to supplement my income from home, I was making these growth charts, like these rulers that I was like maybe going to sell them on Etsy and trying to figure that out. And so I had always held network marketing at an arm's length. You're talking about the is it LuLaRoe or LuLaRoe? LuLaRoe? Okay. And I was like, I can't do that. And the thing, I did not want to host parties. Like, that was just my thing. Like, I did not want to host parties. So I was like, I'm not doing that business. But my sponsor told me, hey, you know what? We aren't a party-driven company. You don't have to carry inventory. It's all online. I was like, okay. And my husband says, if you are going to keep taking these products longer than 2 months, we were doing Financial Peace University, Dave Ramsey. So if you're going to take these longer than 2 months, then you're going to have to at least make enough to cover the cost of the products. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fair. They're probably not going to work anyways. Honestly, that was in my head. But middle of June of 2012, and I had myself a Plexus habit. I loved these products, and I knew I was going to have to start sharing. So started sharing, and my first paycheck was middle of June of 2012, and it was about $500. And we were both like, wow, like this could change everything. And by everything, we just were thinking this could be that $1,000 a month that I needed to be a stay-at-home mama. We weren't thinking this is going to dramatically change the course of our lives. But now we were on this path. I was all in, and I got to tell you, I would look at the compensation plan, you guys, and I would look down there. And so I hope that I don't want you to think like, oh, well, if it takes me 5 years, it takes me 5 years. And I'm not in any rush to get there, because I want you to go after your goals and chase your goals. But I remember looking at the compensation plan thinking, that emerald is pretty cool. I think I could probably do that in about 5 years. And here's what was my thought process. I was like, I could probably do that. I see these other people, they're doing it. If they can do it, I can do it. And 5 years, I could work at this job that I'm at right now for the rest of my career for 30 more years and never make that emerald income with just regular annual increases, reasonable promotions. I would never have made emerald income, even if I would have stayed there for the rest of a working career. So it didn't matter how long it took me, because I knew that I was at least going to get to that $1,000 a month, and I'd be a stay-at-home mom, and I would be delighted with that. And anything over and above that would just be such a blessing. So I hope you're sitting there thinking like, I want you to do it. And I want you to, if you have aggressive goals, I want you to aggressively go after those goals. But I also don't want you to be like, I can never do it, because the blessing along the way, even if it takes you a long time, is still so worth it. Okay, that was a little side note. But so January of 2013, I quit my job and was able to be a stay-at-home mom. Fast forward to January of 2014, we were able to pay off $50,000 of student loan debt, just one check, one payment, and done. We had been doing Financial Peace University, so we were well on our way to being debt-free, but that was like the end. We could just be like, okay, we're done. And then fast forward to another year, February of 2015, and my husband could see that where we were going to leave a legacy was by pouring into our children and what we could do with this business. That if we could continue to grow this business and take all of those blessings, and also we could turn that back and make an impact as well. And that is leaving a legacy. So he walked away from his job. Now we stay home together and work this business and focus on our small kids. And then if you haven't seen, we're building our dream home. We're in Tennessee. So this is an apartment that we're in right now. Probably not the background of a diamond sapphire ambassador that you see, but this is an apartment we're going to hopefully move in at the end of January. So that's all super exciting, and all because of Plexus. And we have this amazing business opportunity because we have products that work. And I know you all know that. So you wouldn't be here if you didn't. So super, super grateful. I think I kind of touched on it, but two of my most favorite parts of this journey are being able to give back and give abundantly after, when you've been blessed abundantly. And then having just a small part in frankly, thousands of people's stories, whether it's through their changed health or relieving of financial burdens, that brings me more joy than any paycheck could. So thankful. Like, I think about Ruth and her life-changing, tummy trouble, IBS, crazy stuff. And not only that, I get to know some amazing people that I never would have known without Plexus. Unless Nicole just said, hey, Jen, you got to meet my friend Ruth. I don't know if that would have happened. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm going to take a drink and then I'll keep going. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about the law of the mirror. I have been going through the 15 Laws of Growth, the John Maxwell book, and one of the laws is the law of the mirror. I so badly wished I would have started pouring into myself and pouring into my own personal growth and development long before I really took this seriously. I'm just being honest. So don't wait until you have a team looking to you to develop personally and to develop as a leader. Then you're playing catch up like I did. So I have been really spending time because I can see that I can't give what I don't have. And so if I'm going to be a better leader, I have to pour into myself. So I want to talk about the law of the mirror specifically because, a lot of times you're going to hear, and we talk about this activity and action, and activity is what moves the needle in your business. It's what propels your business forward. But so often I see people stuck on that activity. But they can post on Facebook. They can follow up and they can answer questions when people come to them. But reaching out to people and doing that income producing activity, I think some people get kind of stuck there. Like they're fearful of doing that. And so I asked the question, why? Why is there this block? And why are people fearful? And from what I can see, after pouring in or diving into this personal growth, it really is a mindset issue in how we see ourselves. It's the fear of rejection, maybe. But if you were super, super confident and you were, for lack of if you had the confidence of Donald Trump, well, I'm not going political on you, but if you had the confidence of Donald Trump, would you even care if you got rejected? You'd be like, on to the next. And so I've really can see that comes down to self-worth, self-value. So that's where it brings us to the law of the mirror. We say being brave is not being fearful, but being brave is, even in fear, having the courage and doing that thing anyway. So there's this cycle, and another law is the law of I think it's the law of attraction, the law of magnetism, I think, or something like that. But who you are is who you attract. So if you are your best self, if you aren't projecting confidence, if you aren't projecting boldness, then you're going to attract hesitation and timidness. So we have to be self-confident, we have to be self-assured, we have to be bold in what we believe in and what we want to attract, so we can attract that to our teams and through our and just relationships in general. So when you break this cycle, so you add value to yourself, you can add value to others, but you also raise your self-worth, and then your productivity follows that. So it's this cycle. I hope I'm making sense here, but in this chapter, John says people are never able to outperform their self-image. That really stuck with me. So if you raise your self-image, you can raise your performance level. If you put a small value on yourself, he says you can rest assured the world will not raise the price. If you want to become the person you have the potential to be, you have to believe that you can. So he goes into some steps to build your self-image. Number one is to guard your self-talk. In your conversation that you're having with yourself all day long, are you a cheerleader for yourself, or are you beating yourself up? God, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Man, I just need to lose 20 pounds. I can't, nobody will listen to me. Do you beat yourself up, or do you speak truth about yourself? Do you speak to yourself the way you want to be? Do you cheer yourself on? Number two, stop comparing. In the words of Carrie Wilkerson from Leadership Retreat, she says, just stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You have to stop comparing yourself. The only person that you should be comparing yourself is with yourself. You need to be better today than you were yesterday, so that when you can look back and if you are continually trying to be better every single day, you can look back. I can look back at the Jenn 2 years ago and be like, wow, I've come a long way, and be very encouraged. There will always be someone that's outperforming you. There will always be someone that's better than you. And that is a huge distraction and a discouragement when you're looking at that and comparing yourself to them. And so often we will look at someone else's end and compare their end to our beginning, or our middle to their end. And that's not fair. That's not fair to yourself, and it will just discourage you. Number three is move beyond your limiting beliefs. There's that saying, if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right. And then that one that we see on graphics and rank promotion graphics a lot, she believes she could, so she did. It's so true. You can't do anything that you don't believe that you can do. So you have to believe in yourself. Charles Schwab said, when a man, I'm going to insert, or woman, has a limit on what he will do, he has put a limit on what he can do. Do you believe that you can and will achieve your goals? Do you believe that you can be a jewel in our company? Do you believe that you can be diamond? Do you believe that you will do it? Then you can do it. He says it isn't what you are that holds you back. It's what you think you're not. So much of this is coming down to how we value ourselves. I'm so convinced of this. I mean, it's taken me 4 years to figure this out, that people can't perform beyond what they believe that they can do. I'm so mad at myself for taking so long to see that so much of this comes back to mindset and what people believe they can do and how they value themselves. Okay, number 4. I love this one. Add value to others. Alec, our CEO, says, when you're blessed, be a blessing. And so often we think about that as giving back financially, and that's a big piece. That's great, and that's awesome, and that's one of the reasons why I love this journey. But I love the example he gives. He's like, if you're having a bad day, turn that mirror outward and focus on someone else. Help someone else. Serve someone else. And when you do that, you instantly feel better about yourself, and your day just doesn't seem quite so bad. So add value to others. Seek for ways to serve others and build them up. Number 5, do the right thing even when it's the hard thing. So I think I'm going to kind of shift the focus to not just doing the right thing, but when you do something wrong or you do something that lacks integrity, you feel really guilty, or you might make excuses for why you did what you did. And that would make you feel pretty crummy about yourself. So even when something is hard, do the right thing, because that will instantly boost your morale and make you feel good about yourself. In the book, it says, every time you take action that builds your character, you become a stronger person. The harder the task, the greater the character builder. Okay, number 6, practice a small discipline daily in a specific area of your life. I would say, ask you, what is one of your biggest struggles? Is it that you're scared to talk to someone? Is it in a relationship that you have with your spouse or with a child? Is it with your business? Is it at work? Is it getting to the gym every day? Is it getting some personal activity, exercising? Is it drinking your water every day? Do something small, one little discipline in that area, and watch that area start to turn around. So I want you to really, I'm seriously challenging you this. What is the struggle what's the first thing you think of? And what is something you can do small that you can create a new habit around that and start to turn that struggle around into, quite possibly, maybe even a strength? That would be a huge morale booster. I think about this in Kona. Carrie Wilkerson was also the teacher, the speaker. She spoke in at Leaders Retreat, and then she spoke at Kona for the Emerald Extravaganza. And this was huge for me, you guys. She talked about routines and rituals and how important those are. So I came back from Kona really committing to waking up before my family, getting up 3 days a week, getting to the gym, and getting in my personal growth. Because what I found was those were 2 priorities in my life. But when my day started with reacting to my family, those were the first 2 things to go out the window. But when I get those 2 things done, I'm ahead of the day, and I'm in a better mindset for the entire day to take what's thrown at me, and I'm not stressed, and I'm not anxious, and I'm so happy that I have checked those 2 boxes. And I'm not resentful, because those 2 things are a priority to me, and whenever I don't get up early enough to do those things, I'm resentful all day long. those routines and rituals, that was a small discipline that I had changed, and it has changed. It has changed my life. It's changed my day to day, and it's huge. So if you need to create some routines and rituals for your morning or for your evening, do that. And a part of what was talked about at the John Maxwell event is to do those daily gratitudes too. I love that. You may already be doing that, but every night to write down 3 new things that you're grateful for. So to go to bed, writing down new gratitudes, and then in the morning, waking up and reading through your gratitudes and starting that morning from an attitude of what you're grateful for will change the direction of your as well. So that was a little side note. Okay. Number 7, celebrate small victories. So after you do something good, even when it's small, maybe you talk to someone in the grocery line and you were able to give them your card or add them on Facebook, or you heard them say something about being tired and you knew that you talked about edge. One little conversation, and that was hard for you. Celebrate that. Say, that was awesome, Jen. You're one step closer to reaching your goal this month. So celebrate that. Don't beat yourself up and say, oh, God, I should have said that. Oh, man, why didn't I talk to her? Why didn't I ask her a better question or something like that? Don't beat yourself up. Celebrate yourself, because those little things that are challenging for you, when you do it, celebrate and good job. Be your own cheerleader. Okay, number 8. Embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. I sort of plexified this one for you. When I think about positive vision, I think about where you want to go, because kind of your long-term goal, like where you're going, and vision is so very important. And then what you value is based on your value, and I would parallel that to what we talk about your why. So your family, you value your time at home with your family and getting that quality time, for example. And then the vision is where you're going. So there's one more piece, is the how in between. Why you're doing what you're doing, where you're going, and then how you're going to get there. And I think I was at church I don't know, maybe last month, and somebody said, they were talking about your why. And I was like, yes, okay, I know this stuff. And he said, the how does not matter unless the why is strong enough. So we know this. How we're going to get where we're going does not matter until you know your why. Is it strong enough? Always stay connected to that why. Always, 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 because it's going to keep you on that track, and it will keep you challenged to change and grow along the way. Okay, number 9, practice the one-word strategy. He says if you could pick one word for yourself, just one word that really describes who you are. What is that word? Sorry, my husband is back there laughing. It's distracting me. What is that one word? And then focus on that and watch that character trait flourish. And if it's a negative word, go back and pick a positive word. I'm going to leave you with a few homework assignments here in the end, but first I've got one more. That one word strategy is part of the homework assignment, but I'll circle back around to it. Number 10, it says, take responsibility for your life. So in this chapter, John Maxwell tells a story of a lady, and I'm not going to tell the story, but a lady who basically had a horrible upbringing, abused by multiple men, single mom, alcoholic, tragic upbringing. No one in her family had graduated from high school. No one went to college. And she said, I am stopping this cycle. I'm going to take responsibility and I will change my life. She got her GED, she went to college, and she became very successful. She stopped the cycle. She wasn't a victim. She stopped blaming, and she made the change. So I think about that, and I think, you know what? She not only changed her own life, but she changed her son's lives and her grandchildren's lives. Imagine if she kept that cycle going. Her grandchildren would have much different lives than the way that they do now, because she said, stop it. I'm going to own it, and I'm going to make a change. So I know it's kind of dramatic, but you have the impact when you change your mindset and you grow personally and you become the best you can be. We're not talking about you're just changing your day-to-day life. You have the power to change other people, because when you're pouring into you and you're the best you can be, you're pouring into other people, helping them be the best them they can be. You're pouring into your children differently. You're helping to change their lives, and you're setting off a ripple effect for people everywhere, and quite possibly for generations, you guys. I don't know, like, maybe I'm not explaining this right, but that just blows my mind. I mean, and it makes me so, to be honest, it makes me so irritated at myself that I have gone through this far in my life without taking this seriously. So anyhow, that one is huge for me, just the impact that could be. So I hope that you'll take this seriously and take this personal growth thing seriously and learn from my mistakes. So here are your challenges that I want to leave you with tonight. One, and this is really hard and it's going to take some time. I've started doing this in my head, like feeding my baby and putting her down for the night. And I'll sit there and I'll be thinking about this a lot. And I've only got up to like maybe 35 or 40. But I want you to make a list of your best personal qualities. This could take you months to do, but I want you to start and I want you to get there. I want you to get to 100. 100. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what John says. This is John's challenge. 100 qualities. And he says, remember, if you don't value yourself, it will be difficult for you to add value to yourself. So then, using this list as a place to jump off of, I want you to pick that one that best describes you, and I want you to really reflect on it and grow that part of who you are. So, like I said, when I've started doing this, and I've done this a couple times, putting Breck to bed, and I think I'm to about maybe 40 things. I instantly, you guys, I just like, it's such, I mean, it's not arrogance, but I'm like, man, I'm not so bad. I'm kind of cool. Wow. You know, when you're really counting the wonderful things about you, because there are wonderful things about us, and you're brainstorming those. I walked out of there, I'm like, I'm standing a little taller coming out of there. I'm not so bad at this mom thing. I got this. So I want you to do this. I want you to take it seriously and reflect on that list. And it may take you 6 months to come up with 100 things, and that is fine, because I'm like, I've got 40. I'm like, I'm not even halfway there. How am I going to do the rest of this? But I'm going to get there too. So, and think about that as, that law of magnetism. When you are feeling your best, you project your best, and then you attract that back to you. Okay. Same thing goes opposite. When you're negative and downer and you're critical and I suck, nobody would ever want to talk to me. Nobody cares what I have to say. When you say that stuff to yourself, that's what you're projecting, and that's what you're attracting. Okay. So it works the same way. So I want you to project value and adding value to people. So It's another little challenge here. So make the list of 100 people. I don't care how long it takes you, but I want you to start making this list and brainstorming all the amazing qualities you have. Okay, number 2 is that self-talk. There is an app, if you haven't heard about it, called Repeat It Again, and it's to use positive affirmations. And I want you to take, just record a couple of them. I don't know what the app is on not an iPhone, but there's another one. You could probably search it if you've got the other kind. But these you can record like 60 seconds and listen to them a few times a day. Listen to them before you go to bed. Listen to them in the morning. I know people that put earbuds in and go to bed listening to their affirmations. But you guys, your affirmations that you're saying to yourself, say them in first person. Do not... they do not have to be something you currently truly believe about yourself, but they're things that you want to believe about yourself. So if you truly don't think that you have any influence in your network, okay, that's what your belief is. Well, your counteracting positive affirmation is, I have so much influence. People love to hear what I say. I speak, people listen. People want to know what I am doing, okay? You're going to talk in first person, and you're going to speak the truth, whether it's true or whether you want it to be true, okay? That's the way these work. You can write them down, put them on your mirror, read them to yourself. But I want you to create at least 2 personal affirmations on things that you need. It's going to be different for everybody, okay? Then number 3, and this is John Maxwell's challenges. They're not just Jenn's, but they're John's in his book. And that third one is adding value to others. Now, I loved his idea. There's the tithing, that you tithe 10% of your income and give it to charity or to your church. I loved his idea that if you work a 40-hour work week, you should take 10% of that time, 4 hours, and serve someone else. Serve, even if it's serving your kids and your family and your husband, and that's other times you might be wanting to kick your feet up on the couch and watch, I don't know, the Goldbergs. That's my new show. Thank you, Nicole, for that. I think about you every time I see her, by the way. But serve your family, serve others. Take that focus off of you and add value to other people. Serve your team, serve your customers, serve your coworkers. It's that taking that focus off of yourself and doing something for someone else. So,
Jenn, I wanted to tell you really quick. I'm so sorry. There was like 1 minute, so I didn't want you to get cut off.
Okay. Challenge. Make your list of 100 people. Do your affirmations, self-talk. Repeat it again as the app. Add value to others. And wow, there you go. I really am done.
Perfect timing. That was absolutely amazing. And I think that everyone is going to get so much out of what you gave to us tonight. Thank you so much for taking that time.
I hope so.
We love you, Jenn.
You guys.
Thank you, everybody.
We love you. Thank you so much.
We logging off?
Did you get your picture, Nicole?